All right, everyone, happy Monday. Welcome to the 187 District Court. We got London fog or something going on outside, but it's still going to be a great day. So everybody, let's keep it a happy Monday. Let's not turn it into a bad Monday. These are the rules of the 187 District Court. You are in a courtroom, whether you're at your house, whether you're at the Bexar County Jail, whether you're at work, you are in a courtroom. Anything you could not do if you were physically in this courtroom, you cannot do on this Zoom screen. So if you are at work, you need to let your employer know that you're in court and that you need to take a break. To everyone, please find a stationary place with good Wi-Fi and do not move around once you find that stationary place because it tends to make everyone else on the screen nauseous when you're moving up and down. To all the inmates, you're not allowed to use the chat bots. You're not allowed to use the internet. If you do any of these things, you will be sent back. And as you know, there's a shortage, so we'll probably see you in 60 to 90 days. To all of the people who are on bond, if you're at your home, you are to be dressed appropriately. There's to be no laying in bed, no cooking of food, no changing of diapers. There is to be no driving and Zooming. If you do either of these things, what will happen is your Zoom privileges will be revoked. You will be forced to appear in person in court. Doesn't matter if you're out of county, out of state, out of country, you're going to be forced to appear in the 187 District Court, which is located at 300 De La Rosa on the 4th floor. And then your Monday is going to turn into a not so good Monday because that means that you're going to have to get an Uber, a Lyft, or a Via. And last time I checked, Via doesn't give change. So if you don't have change, they're just going to take whatever you give. Alejo is like, yeah, they don't give you change back. So if you have to travel downtown with a $5 bill, you're going to have to travel downtown with a $5 bill. If you're driving down here, you're going to discover that there is so much construction going on downtown, so many more one-ways. And if by chance you're able to find parking space, you're going to find out that parking is extremely expensive. So everyone, let's keep it a happy, bright Monday. I always like to think of Mondays as a chance to start over. I'm going to open breakout rooms. When I open the breakout rooms, it's going to invite everyone to go to a breakout room. Do not, I repeat, do not go to a breakout room unless I specifically call you by name and assign you to a breakout room. Ms. Alejo, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. My understanding is your paperwork is already completed and I've already signed it. Who is the attorney for Janie Alejo?
That's me, Judge Scott McCrum.
I'm going to send you to number 1 as well. The clerks will meet you there and let you know if they have all the paperwork to swear her in. To all the attorneys who are on the Zoom screen, it would really help the court if you would add to your name the name of your client and whether or not it's criminal trial division or family violence. That will make things move more quickly. When I assign you to a breakout room, the prosecutors have the ability to move throughout the breakout rooms. So think of those breakout rooms as going to the doctor's office. I know when you're waiting there for your appointment's at 9, you see the nurse, you get called to the back, you're excited because you're like, hey, I'm getting out of here early. And they send you to a breakout room. And that breakout room is just for them to check your weight and your blood pressure. So allow them to check your weight and your blood pressure. If you leave that room, what's going to happen is they're going to see that that room is empty and they're going to skip over it. To all the defendants and those who are accused, your attorney's name will be called, your name will not be called. If there's a request for you to go to a breakout room, trust me, your attorney will say, send my client to the breakout room. Or either the state will say the attorney wants to see them in the breakout room now. If I'm going to call your attorney's name, if you don't hear your attorney's name, don't get excited, don't get anxious. Your attorney is probably zooming in another courtroom or was required to appear in person in a courtroom or maybe out of county. Attorney, this is the order in which you'll appear. If you see you're low on the list and you wish to go to another courtroom, you're more than welcome to do that. However, if you do that and your name is called, you'll be put at the end of the list. Keith Engelkey, Christine McDonald, Louis Martinez, Robert Gebbia, Scott McCrum, Justin Fox, Arlene Gay, Dirk Ashball, and Martin Guerra. Is there any attorney's name that I have failed to mention? Who's in the courtroom?
Jorge Canales.
All right, Jorge Canales.
Yes, Judge. I'm here on a violation report. Eliseo Delgado.
All right, just give us a moment. Everyone, just give me one moment, please. All right, sorry about that, everyone. An ink pen exploded. However, it didn't explode over my clothes, so it's still a great Monday. All right, attorneys, please, if you have an agreement with the state, no matter how small you think that agreement is, you need to put it in the chat box to Ms. Ferguson. She's listed as Ferguson coordinator. Do not call her, do not chat her, do not text her, do not email her asking for a reset, because I'm the only person who can give that to you. All right, to all of the defendants and those who are accused, your video must not go blank. The only time your video should go dark is because you are signing paperwork. If your video goes dark, then what will end up happening is you will be required to appear here in court in person. Austin Young, you need to start your video. All right, Keith Engelke.
Good morning, Judge.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2. Thank you for changing your name.
Oh, thanks.
Christine McDonald. Thank you for changing your name. I'll send you to number 3.
Thank you, Judge.
Luis Martinez.
Judge, I just have a violation report with Mr. Young. Austin, can you turn that video on? I see you messing with it.
All right, just give me a moment. Bobby Gebbia.
Morning, Judge. I'm here for Sherry Cooper.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 4.
Thank you.
Scott McCrum. Scott McCrum, going once, going twice.
Judge, you sent him to a breakout room with his client.
Ah, that is so true. Thank you. Justin Fox.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning. Who do you have?
I have John Cullens, Your Honor. It's a criminal trial.
Okay, I don't see you on the screen. Just one second. Ah, there you are. Okay, what is the name again, please?
John Cullens.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 5.
Perfect. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Arlene Gay.
Good morning, Your Honor. I have a Vivianca Sanchez, and this is a motion for personal bond or for reasonable bond.
All right, I'll just send you to breakout room number 6. Thank you so much for changing your name.
Thank you.
Dirk Ashbaugh.
Good morning, Judge. I have Daryl Lewis, and we're here on a violation report.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 7. And Luis Martinez, on your violation report, let me send you to number 8. All right, Martin Guerra.
I'm present for Bob.
All right, I'll send you to number 9. And your volume is very low. Jorge Canales.
Yes, Judge.
Yes, is your client criminal trial division or family violence?
I think he's CTD, Judge.
What is your client's name?
Eliseo Delgado.
And is your client here today?
I think he may be in custody, Judge. I can't find him.
All right, let's just give me a moment because the problem with your client is your client is not reporting. So just give us a moment. Catherine Valenzuela.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm here on Luis Puente. We'd like to take a plea today with Meredith. We have an offer and we just need to do paperwork.
Okay. I will send you to number 10. And is your client in custody or on bond?
He's on bond. He's under Valenzuela, Luis Puente.
All right, I'm sending you both to breakout room number 10.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. And there is someone here from pretrial services. Mr.
Yes.
Puente, Mr. Puente, you need to go to breakout room number 10. All right, and who's here from pretrial services?
Christina Ramos in regarding Angel Orozco.
That's my client, Your Honor.
Okay. Have you had a chance to confer with the state, Mr. Engelke?
I have, my client is not here. He has not gotten in touch with me. I've tried calling him to no result.
All right, we've been trying to get in touch with your clients, at least pretrial services has. And pretrial services, the reason why I called you in is because you have on your violation report strap tamper.
Yes, we retrieved the device. So it was cut and we retrieved the device. So it's now in our possession.
Okay, because sometimes I see that and I'm like, do you have the device? Was it actually cut?
Yes, if we have someone who's available to go retrieve it while it still has battery life, we do so, and we retrieved it that day.
All right. So, Mr. Engelke,
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
going to issue a judge's warrant for your client and remand your client without bond.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you for coming in, Ms. Ramos.
Yes, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you.
Everyone, just give me a moment.
Excuse me, Judge.
Just one moment. All right. Luis Martinez.
Judge, I'm here on Mr. Young's case, and he's having technical difficulties with his video.
All right. If he can't start his video, he's going to have to appear in court.
Judge, let me do this. Let me have him log off and log back in.
Okay.
So let me see if that'll work. I'll get and do that, because all we've got, Judge, is a violation report. He's not installed the ignition interlock. His car is no longer operable, and so we're just trying to switch over to a mobile unit.
All right. Anton Hayek, who do you have?
Joe Gomez.
Criminal trial division or family violence?
Family violence. And I
Okay.
don't see him on the screen today.
All right. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 11.
Good morning. I like your pen.
Why, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Matthew Finch, who do you have?
Good morning, Your Honor. I have
Joseph Ramirez. He's on the screen. I see him as Joseph.
Criminal trial division or family violence?
I've been conferring with Tom, Your Honor. There's a family violence, but it's mostly the other.
All right, I'm seeing you to number 12. All right, and then Jorge Canales.
Judge, I confirmed verbatim, he's not in custody.
All right, and who is your client?
Eliseo Delgado. Failure to report, I think it's his 4th violation.
All right, have you had any contact with your client? No one knows where he is.
I have tried the 2 numbers that I have. One of them was a family member, and I have not been successful, Judge. Can't find
All right, and so I did give him a chance because I received a violation report saying he hadn't reported ever. And so what I did was I gave him 14 days to comply. So that was another chance. And then I gave him a chance to appear today. So I'm going to issue a judge's warrant and remand him without bond. If you're able to get in touch with your client and he makes an appearance, the court will reconsider.
Okay, Judge.
All right, thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
All right, Catherine Valenzuela.
Oh, Your Honor, I was here I left the breakout room to chat with Meredith, but Your Honor, you placed my client and I in 10. If you need a breakout room, my client is in the office, so he's in our conference room. So if you need a breakout room, we can still confer without taking up.
Oh, sure. Whatever is easiest for you. I always just provide a separate breakout room.
Yeah, so I'm just letting you know in case you need one.
All right, thank you.
And Catherine, we just need the emails for the paperwork.
I'm doing that right now.
Awesome,
Okay.
thank you.
All right, Cassandra Montemayor, who are you here for?
Yes, Judge, I'm here regarding Mr. Austin Young, his violation report.
Okay, just as soon as his attorney comes back on, we'll take that up.
Judge, I'm on, but I don't, we're trying to get Mr. Young in with video. So that's what's going on right now.
Okay.
Lewis, can you hear me?
Mr. Young, you need to
Yes,
turn on your
ma'am.
video. I'm
I
sending
don't
you a
know why it won't let
request.
me turn my video on, Judge Boyd. It says this has been asked for you to start your video. I say start my video and it says failure to start my video camera.
Yeah, so yes, that's what you need to click on.
That's what I do. And it says failure to start my video camera. Judge Boyd, I said, okay.
All right, time out, time out. What device are you using?
I'm using a backup cell phone.
No, is it Android or is it an iPhone?
It's an old like Android. I mean, it's the
Versus
$30
Brenda,
phone.
it's an Android, so I have to know this, right? I always would pay when people say Android. Just give me a second. All right, so on your Android, did you give it permission to start video? Because if you go to your phone, Mr. Young, at the bottom of your phone, it should have a headset, you know, an icon of a headset.
Yeah, no, yes, ma'am. It says the mute, start video, share.
Okay, so you need to click on the start video and there should be a video. You may have a line, a red line thrown through your video. You need to click on it.
Yes, ma'am. No, yes, ma'am. I click on it. It says failure to start the video camera.
May have to go to settings in the phone and allow the app to use the camera.
It sounds like a hardware issue, Judge. He may just need to come to my office. We could do it from here.
Okay.
Austin, can you get a ride down here?
Hold on one second. Let me try what that lady said. I mean, I'd have to get an Uber. I can get an Uber, yeah.
Well, Brenda, he's gonna try what the lady said.
Okay.
Let's do, so display.
Now you want to go to settings.
I'm in my settings, apps right here. Let's go
Yes.
to.
While we're waiting for that, Ms. Hudgens, your attorney would like to speak with you in breakout room number 3. I've assigned you to breakout room number 3.
All right, Hutchins, go to breakout room number 3, please.
Okay, so there's microphone, Zoom, allow, and then I need to go to, so now I want to go to the.
See, on a Monday, you know what, Brenda, you're not living unless you're learning something every single day. That's my
You know,
motto.
well, I'm gonna suggest that the app he uses right now isn't Zoom, but maybe Uber. Yeah, Austin, if you can just Uber down to my office, we can do that together here at the office.
But Louis, sometimes you have to teach people to fish.
Yeah, you know, Mondays are there's not a whole lot of time for fishing lessons on Mondays, Judge.
No, that's true. I understand what you're saying.
Okay, let me try one thing real quick. I just did what that lady told me to do to go to setting. Let me try and join the meeting again real quick. If not, I'm on my way to the office, Lewis.
Sounds good. Sounds like a plan.
And so now I'm going to go back to this text message that Kendra sent me with the link, and
Brenda, I feel as though everyone is rooting. Everyone is we're all in this together. So I'm hoping his video starts.
Oh, he,
Well, no, he said he was going to
He'll be right back.
and come back in. So we're good. All right. While we wait for that, everyone just give me a moment. Is Joe Blakey Sr.? Is Joe Blakey Sr. here? All right, is Shanika Ray L. Howard here? All right, Rebecca, we'll see if they show up.
I'll
All
try
right,
to
Arlene.
reach out to them one more time.
All right, thank you. Arlene Gay?
Your Honor, I have conferred with the state. They are not opposed to if the court wants to grant the PR bond. I was just appointed right at the beginning of November, and Ms. Sanchez is on our Zoom.
All right, to the clerks, I don't have a motion on Sanchez for a PR bond. So I could have that, please.
Let me take a look for it, Judge.
All right, and I have that she was a no-show on June 10th. Is there a reason why she was a no-show?
Yes, Your Honor, she did not know about the court date at all, and that's why she wasn't present. She has had a couple of lawyers involved, court-appointed lawyers, and she just didn't get notice of it, Your Honor.
Well, I will say this, the June 10th date, that's not a date that the court specially set. That's a date she was indicted, and the notice would have been sent to the address that she provided. So that wasn't a date that the court sent. So the only issue is going to be, and I'll send you to a breakout room to speak to the clerks about it. There's an issue because of bond forfeiture was issued, and a remand without bond was issued on June 10th. So First, we need to find out if that was entered in the system, which it seems it was. Then there may be other issues as far as knife size. So I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2. Mr. Joseph, please stop unmuting yourself. Ms. Gay, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2, and I'll send your client to breakout room number 2. And I will send the clerk to number 2 so they can speak to you regarding, the fact that there may be a knife side or something that's out there. So giving her PR bond may not be as simple or as easy as it sounds. So to the clerk, if you'll go to breakout room number 2. Who is Phoenix number 5? You need to start your video. Okay, anyone else back from the breakout rooms?
Hello.
Yes, Miss Nina Blessed.
I can't hear. It's like really, really low. I can see you, but it was working at first, but it's like really low right now.
Okay, well, you may want to sign out and sign back in or check your
Yes, ma'am.
your volume.
If anything, I could get my headphones if it don't work.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
All right, Christine McDonald.
Hello, Judge. I was just messaging Norma. We have a plea this morning for deferred on Trisha Hudgens.
Okay, thank you. The person who's listed on screen as Phoenix 5, what is your name?
I can hear now.
All right, thank you, Ms. Bless. Phoenix, what is your name? Phoenix number 5? All right, Phoenix number 5, I'm gonna
Yes,
remove.
ma'am. No, Judge Boyd, it's Austin Young. I was still trying to get my video to come up. I can't get my video to come up. So I guess I'm gonna Uber down to Lewis's office, and either it just keeps saying it, start my video, and I hit the start my video thing, and for some reason it's failing to let me do my video.
Okay, so this is what we're gonna do then. You can head to your attorney's office, and when you get to your
Yes, ma'am.
attorney's
Do I need
office,
to call my probation officer and tell him that I'm going to my attorney's office because I am on GPS?
we'll let them
House
know.
arrest.
Everyone
I'm on, like,
knows.
House arrest, half work order.
All right, everyone knows that you'll be allowed to go to your attorney's office.
Okay. No, yes, ma'am. I'm on my
All
way
right,
right now.
and
Judge Boyd.
Mr. Young, when you get to Mr. Martinez's office, I want you to do me a favor, okay?
Yes, ma'am. What do you need?
I need you to have Lewis show you how to use your video.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Lewis, I just gave you an assignment.
I'm sorry, Judge. I didn't hear that part. What am I doing?
Oh, he's gonna come to your office and you're gonna show him how to work his video.
Can I just put him on my video and not have to figure out how to use
Sure
his
you
phone?
can, but you need to teach him how to fish.
Maybe I could just, help him get a better phone. It sounds like a better idea.
Okay, that could be.
Okay. Thank you, Judge. I'll wait for him to get here.
All right, thank you.
We'll be right back.
Okay. All right, the person who's listed as Nina Blessed, is that your last name?
No, my last name is Howard. Howard.
All right, thank you.
Is that Shaniqua Howard?
Shanicia Howard.
Ah, thank you, Rebecca. That's who I've been calling.
Is Mr. Gomez in the courtroom?
No.
Okay.
Which,
Joe
I don't-
Gomez, it's a family violence case. I've just conferred with the attorney, but we don't see the defendant.
all right, Ms. Howard,
Yes, ma'am.
I received a report on you where they were asking that you be extended.
Extended?
So yes, that your probation be extended. So you would have expired and been completely done with probation on December 12th. But the problem we have here is that you owe a balance.
Yeah.
So when are you going to get that balance paid?
When I get my job, it's really been hard. It really been hard for me to get a job, me being with my kids and everything. Like I really don't have no help. Like I'm literally with my kids 24/7.
Well, I mean, the children have to eat, right?
Yes.
So you're going to have to get employment and make it work.
Mhm.
I mean, I know that sounds harsh on my part, but
No, I understand.
so how much time do you need to pay this?
I mean, I don't know. I've really been looking for a job. I've been having interviews. I'm supposed to go back to another interview today. It's actually the same job. So I just
All right, so what I need to know from you is how much time do you need to pay this?
I know my balance is like
Because here's the thing, you've been on probation since
2016.
yes. And so in that time, almost 5 years, you only paid $520. I mean, if you think about the years that you've been on probation, if you would have just done like a payment plan, you would be done.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to extend you through, Rebecca, extend her through June. And so here's the thing. I know everybody has their income tax time that comes in. It's like you're in deferred adjudication for aggravated robbery. So that means a robbery took place. That means that somebody had stuff forcibly taken from them. And the previous judge gave you deferred adjudication. So you have to pay this amount of money. And since 2016, since your children are ages 8, 6, 4, and 2, you've had a 2-year-old. So you've had these children that that you're finding it difficult to support. That's you. That's all you making decisions. So I'm going to give you an extension for June, and you're going to be on a payment plan, and you need to start making payments towards that.
Yes, ma'am.
So Rebecca, if you can figure out if she can give you an idea of what she can afford to pay per month, and we'll monitor her and see how she does. Because I don't willy-nilly extend people for 2 years, 3 years, because I can extend you for another 4 years. But I'm trying to get you on track to start making payment plans, because otherwise nothing good can happen. You understand?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 6. And probation will meet you there. And then you can be excused from there. Matthew Finch?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
I've had a chance to confer, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I've been conferring with Tom for a while. He was not able to be here today due to some other reasons. Also, one of the reasons that we were recalled today, Judge, was from some discovery. I'm having some technology issues on my end. I need to upgrade a hard drive to be able to download. I began the process and it was disrupted because of the amount of volume of material I'm trying to get. So if there's any way possible, we could allow me some more time to address my technology issues and get it taken care of.
All right. So when are you anticipating this happening?
Judge, I hope to have the hard drive issue resolved. Obviously, I'm having to completely redo a whole computer and install a new larger terabyte hard drive, 2 terabyte hard drive. So I'm hoping to get it done in the next week.
All right. Is your client in custody?
No, Your Honor, he is not. He's on Zoom. Joseph, the name Joseph.
All right, Norma, can I get a 30-day reset on Joseph Ramirez, please?
First world problems, Judge. I apologize.
Mhm.
The advent of Coban.
All right, we're going to come back on January 13th. This case was previously set on September, then October, then November, and now December. So this is the last discovery reset the court is going to give. So Mr. Joseph Ramirez, we're going to come back on January 13th, 2022. And Mr. Finch, you and your client are excused.
Thank you. Y'all have a good Monday morning.
Thank you, you too. Everyone, just give me a moment. Justin Fox.
Yes, Judge, I've confirmed with Christian. I let him know that since our last setting, I'd been trying to reach Mr. Collins's Dallas attorney. Mr. Collins has MTRs pending, and I was made aware that there is a deal pending for time in Dallas, and we were attempting to try to run that concurrent with his cases here. I spoke with Mr. Steele once before my last setting, but was trying to just get the last little bit of details and the exact amount of time so we could run it concurrent. I let Christian know. He reached out in the Zoom to Mr. Steele's office and then got his personal cell and made a call. But as of yet, there's no call back.
All right, Norma on Collins, can you recall this for next week, please?
And Judge, on Collins, I also suggested to Mr. Folks, it might be worthwhile calling the Dallas DA's office. If we can't get a hold of the defense attorney, the prosecutor on the case should know the deal all the same. So we'll get it sorted out.
All right, thank you. All right, you and your client are excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes. Okay. Okay. All right. All right, thank you. All right, David Woodard, who do you have?
Judge, I have Christopher White. We're also set on the misdemeanor case this morning. I need to confer with Meredith before we go into the misdemeanor court.
Okay. I will send you to breakout room number 5. Anton Hayek, and then I'm going to take up Scott McCrum's case. Anton Hayek?
Yes, Your Honor. I talked to Caitlin. We have a deal, but Joe Gomez is nowhere to be found.
All right, I'll give him till 10:30 to see if he shows.
Okay. Okay. And I'll contact his bondsman.
All right, thank
Good.
you so much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, and Frank Sandoval, were you not assigned to a room?
Your Honor, good morning. No, not as of yet. I apologize, Judge, or if I have, I didn't see this pop up.
All right, who's your client?
It's Velasco, Your Honor. It's an MTR.
Velasco?
Yes, Your Honor.
Criminal Trial Division or Family Violence?
Your Honor, I apologize, but I believe it's a criminal trial.
Okay. All right, Mr. Sandoval, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2.
I appreciate it, Judge.
You're welcome. Who are the parties on Scott McCrum's case? Who's the prosecutor? Who is the prosecutor on this, Mr. McCrum?
I'm sorry, Marcus is a prosecutor and I'm chatting the agreement to Brittany. So I think maybe Brittany's going to be doing the plea.
Okay. Alfonso Cabanas? Alfonso Cabanas? All right, as soon as we have a prosecutor.
Judge, I'm here.
Okay, thank you. All right, Brenna, before we go on the record, just 1 second, everyone. All right, Miss Alejo.
Yes, Your
My
Honor.
understanding from the clerks is that you've never been magistrated on this case at all because for some reason it was previously, I guess, dismissed and indicted. So they're telling me that you've never been magistrated. Are you aware of that, Mr. McCrum?
Yes, Your Honor. Lupa did tell me about that.
All right.
What had happened is they dismissed it. She made bond and everything, but they dismissed it prior to indictment. And when we worked out this plea agreement, they just refiled it.
All right. So, Ms. Alejo, what I'm going to do before we go on the record, I'm going to go over your magistrate's warnings with you. And this is just to tell you what your rights are. I realize that you've entered into a plea bargain agreement. So you're charged with the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 grams to 200 grams. You have a right to remain silent, which means you don't have to talk to anyone if you don't wish to talk to anyone. You have a right to hire an attorney if you have one appointed for you. I see that Mr. McCrum is your attorney. Mr. McCrum, are you hired or appointed?
Appointed, Your Honor.
Okay. If you are indigent, you have a right to request a court-appointed attorney. And because you have a court-appointed attorney already, I'm assuming that you've already gone over the paperwork to obtain a court-appointed attorney and to see if you qualify for a court-appointed attorney. You have a right to have an attorney present during an interview with peace officers, police officers, members of the state. Once you start an interview with the state or peace officers or police officers, you can terminate or stop that interview at any time. You're not required to make any statement to anyone, but if you do make a statement, that statement may and can be used against you at trial or in any court. You have a right to have an examining trial. Again, I see that you've entered into a plea. This case has not been indicted yet, so you do have a right to an examining trial. If you're a foreign national, you have a right to access or consult with your consulate. The procedures for requesting a court-appointed attorney, you have to complete an application. You have to swear to that application that everything is true and correct. And if you need help or assistance in filling out that application, or having it explained to you, the clerk will do that. You must qualify for a court-appointed attorney. If you meet indigent standards, you will be appointed a court-appointed attorney. You'll be provided with that attorney's name and number. And that attorney should contact you within 24 hours once appointed. And those 24 hours are once appointed, and that has to be on a business day. So if you were given a court-appointed counsel on Friday, then that court-appointed counsel will have to make contact with you on Monday. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
What I'm going to note here is that you're unable to sign because you're on video.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Ferguson, are you able to make the magistrate warning and into an Adobe sign so we can at least have record?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Mr. McCrum, once I take her plea, I'm going to need you to go back into the breakout room just for her to sign the magistrate's warnings that I've gone over with her. All right, court is going to call 2021 CR 10914W, State of Texas versus, yes, just one moment, everyone. Yes. All right, sorry about that. Court is calling 2021 CR 10914W, State of Texas versus Janie Alejo. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Brittany Sparks.
For the defense?
Scott McCrum.
And are you Janie Alejo?
Yes, Your Honor.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No objections, Your Honor.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Alejo, I'm going to show you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video Conference. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you a document entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor, I have and I did.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Alejo, I'm going to show you a document entitled Waiver of Indictment, Reading of Information and Rights under Article 1.051 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to have a grand jury indict this case after hearing evidence? The right for your attorney to have 2 days from the presentation of the information and 10 days from the presentation of the information to prepare for trial. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your
And
Honor.
did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
What was the question?
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
All right, the court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived indictment, reading of information, and rights under Article 1.051 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Next, I'm going to show you a document entitled Information. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the information?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the information as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Alejo, I'm going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did
Yes, Your
you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand what you're charged with by information is possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 grams to 200 grams? That's a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial? a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
She has.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
She does.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
She is.
Ms. Alejo, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page, did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, there's a $1,000 fine to be probated. State recommends deferred adjudication. They will take into consideration 2021 CR 6157. There's to be restitution to Renata, RENATA, Leuart, LEUART, D. Oliveira, DEOLIVEIRA. There's to be no contact with her, and there's $57 to SAPD for drug testing. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, it is, Judge.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you were waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, are there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. State is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 5 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation, 120 hours of community service restitution. The state will reject any further cases for drug offenses arising out of defendant's August 25th, 2020 arrest. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence to support the defendant's plea.
Yes, Your Honor. State offers State's Exhibit 1 and all attachments.
Any objection?
No objection.
Ms. Alejo, I'm showing you what's entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
I would hope that you'd follow the plea agreement, Judge. She's cleaned up and off drugs and is anxious to put this behind her.
All right, Ms. Alejo, how old are you?
38 years old.
If you're drug tested today and know you're going to be drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Be negative of any substances or anything. I have been clean.
When's the
And,
last time you used?
In April of 2021, before I got arrested.
All right, is Child Protective Services involved?
Not anymore. I completed with them. I finished the outpatient program for them, and I've done I still attend like the NA like classes and stuff through the Zoom rooms. It's called rooms, and I can't go to a meeting like in person because I'm on ankle monitor right now still. But I do speak to my counselor every once in a while. She's not my counselor anymore, but I still reach out to her and stuff when, like when I feel like talking to somebody.
All right, how many children do you have?
I have 3 in total, but 2 are with their father.
All right, and 1 is with you?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the age of the one that's with you?
She's 4 years old.
And where is her father?
I have yet to know anything about him. It's something that happened, when I had her, and we just.
So did Child Protective Services separate the children?
No. My husband, we're still married, me and my husband. The first 2 children, the oldest, they belong to him. So we did separate the children back in 2016, 17. And we had a CPS case and we separated the children. I stayed with the middle child and he stayed with the oldest. And yes, I know. I completed all the course I was supposed to do with CPS, but my daughter wanted to be with her father, so I didn't want to be selfish and take her, So as long as I was able to visit with her and stuff, I was okay with her going with her dad, and my son wanted to stay with me. So, and we had, back and forth with visitations and stuff like that. So the children were separated. Those 2 were separated. And they did have sibling time and stuff like that. And then I was pregnant with my last baby, which has a whole different father.
All right, and who is Emilio Palacios?
He was somebody that was staying with me in my apartment. He was a friend, a so-called friend.
All right, who's living with you now?
Nobody. I'm actually in Edinburgh, Texas, staying with my godmother.
Okay, are you employed?
I've been trying to get this, like almost on GPS monitor. I've been trying to work, and so we're waiting for like the order and the motion to be filed and stuff like that. So because of the monitor, I had you just had signed off on the motion on Friday, where I can get like a set schedule so I can start working.
She has a job and with a cleaning company that I
Yeah.
had submitted with my motion. She's had that for about 2 weeks, but hadn't been able to work because I didn't get the order signed.
All right, and so let me just backtrack a little bit. So was CPS involved when you moved to Edinburgh, Texas?
No, my case already had closed.
All right, and then this cleaning service. What are you cleaning? Offices? Are you cleaning homes?
It's offices and houses. It just depends on the assignment. Yes, on the assignment. And then also too, I'm trying to get hours in a provider, like home health care. I'm in the middle of that also. I did application for that just recently.
And just as a side note also, Judge, on the, she needs to, or she wants to continue residing in Edinburgh because that's the only residence she has at this time. So we were gonna ask if she could have this transferred to Hidalgo County.
All right. So this is what the court is going to do. There's $1,000 fine that will be probated. Five years deferred adjudication. Taking consideration 2021 CR 6157. No contact and restitution to Renata Luart de Oliveira. Restitution of $57 to SAPD for drug testing. Transfer to, and you say that's Hidalgo County?
Yes, Judge.
CPS compliance if applicable. Random field visits 2 times per month.
Judge, on that one, it would just be up to Hidalgo County if they're able to do that.
All right, thank you. 120 hours of community service restitution. The court will waive 40 of those hours if you provide proof that you completed the COVID vaccinations, and that includes the booster. I'm not forcing anyone to get the COVID vaccination. You don't have to get it if you don't want to get it. But if you do get it, then, and you provide proof, the probation 40 of your community service hours will be deducted. How far did you go in school?
I graduated, Your Honor.
All right, what are you planning on doing with the rest of your life?
I'm trying to fix my legal issues first, and I'm gonna have to like reevaluate what kind of education I want to.
Well, see, here's the thing. Let me just tell you something. When people say they're trying to do stuff, you wake up, 20 years have passed and you're still trying. Now, this is what I tell everybody. There is nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with cleaning houses, because guess what? We need somebody to clean houses. If everybody were a heart surgeon, we wouldn't have roads, we wouldn't have buildings, we wouldn't have gas, we wouldn't have any of that. So everybody has something they want to do. If your goal is, hey, I want to own my own cleaning service business, or if I want to clean houses for a living, then that's your goal. That's fine. Be the best house cleaner you can be. But I'm trying to figure out what your goal is.
What I really want to do is actually cook.
Okay. Well, what's your best dish?
I don't know. I make a lot of good food.
I'll be the judge of that.
Of course you are the judge.
Everybody knows I love food. So this is what I'll do. So there's 40 hours that'll be deducted if you provide proof of COVID. And if you obtain some kind of certificate, because I know they have certificates that you can get if you want to cook, if you want to be a truck driver, whatever you want to get. If you obtain that certificate, I'll waive the rest of your community service hours.
Okay, I've been trying to I don't know which way to go in that. I just know that I always wanted to do my own little taco truck. When my grandmother was alive, she had a best friend that had a taco truck, and I would help her. I would help her fix the food and stuff like that, and help her surf out of her taco truck in some nightclubs in San Antonio. But this was like when I was 17 years old, so I know how it runs, how to run one. I just need to make some money so that I can get me the permits and stuff like that, and find a little lot, find a little trailer, and invest. But it's gonna
I will tell you, people drink alcohol, they get hungry, then they don't know if it's good or not, they just eat a lot. So that's the way to do. So
Exactly.
you're supposed to
But
say,
I do
no, my
cook,
food is great.
I do cook good. Ever since I sobered up, look at, I'm just, yes. So,
Well, you
I
know
mean,
what people say? They say, do not trust a skinny cook.
Your Honor, and also I wanted to let you know that when I was in jail, I tried to get into like programs in the jail, but they said I needed to have like a mental issue to
Okay.
get. So I mean, but I did try to get help, and I was appreciative when I came out of jail that the CPS reached out to me and they did open a case on me. And I know it sounds crazy, but it helped me because I couldn't get that help with rehab because it costs a lot of money. So they helped me with classes and stuff. So I was in lifetime recovery. And
Oh,
so
Lifetime Recovery is a great program. Well, I'm
I
glad.
love it.
I'm
And I
glad it's
still can
helping
go.
you.
I like it. They refresh my memory and stuff like that. And I'm appreciative of that. So
Okay. And so here's the thing. The way you feel now, the joy you feel at being clean and sober, you got to hold on to that and don't backslide.
I know, and my 4-year-old keeps me, and all three of my kids keep me, to think about everything that I've done. I had a lot of time to think about it when I was in jail, and I still think about it to this day. Like my 4-year-old doesn't have nobody; she just has me.
Okay.
So I can't screw up no more.
Yeah.
I can't.
All right. Well, I'm glad you're dealing better. I always tell people you can tell when the haze of drug addiction or people who are in the throes of their addiction has lifted because their eyes are bright and everything.
Exactly. I didn't see what was going on, because I was not sober. But when I was in jail, I saw so much things, and it was so sad because all I could think was that could be my children, or that I'm lucky I'm not like that person that lost their mind. And it's really
Okay.
sad, because it's so crowded in the jails. The people are being put in low risk pods and that are supposed to be in like the medical pods. So I saw a lot of stuff that it really opened my eyes.
Okay. All right. So this is what the court is going to do. So I'll waive the remainder of the community service hours if she gets a certificate or gets a higher level education. I can't add if she brings me tacos, Scott McCrum, because that's not what I should do.
Is it that like bribing or something?
Yeah, you can bring me tacos. Regular reporting, but after you're off probation, you can bring me whatever tacos you want to bring. So regular reporting by Zoom or in person. So if something happens, you can't report by Zoom, it'll have to be in person.
Okay.
Now, mind you, I don't know if Hidalgo has Zoom capabilities or not. So if they don't have Zoom capabilities, you'll have to report in person. Regular UAs, or you can do the patch. The patch costs more, but it gives you more freedom. State will reject any further cases for drug offenses arising out of defendant's August 25th, 2020 arrest. And Mr. McCrum, in 3 more months' time, if she's done well on GPS, I'll say that the GPS can be removed.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do, if the state has no objection, I'll make the GPS for tracking. Any objection from the state?
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, so we're going to do GPS tracking.
Okay.
For 3 months. Now, here's the thing. I'm giving you some more freedom on GPS. Sometimes people get more freedom and they just lose their minds. Don't do that, because remember, you're working for your 4-year-old, okay?
Yes, I know. And it's been rough with the grocery shopping because sometimes I don't meet the certain amount and stuff like that. It's just wow. But everything's been done through like ordering over online, adding more fees, and you're like, oh my gosh, just a headache. So
Okay.
I appreciate you for that.
All right, you're welcome. And also proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home healthcare provider or with minors. Rebecca, is there anything else that she needs?
No, ma'am, that's everything.
All right, Ms. Alejo, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
So then the home health care I cannot do?
No, you can't do home health care.
Okay, I just was making sure because I had just made an application for that.
Yeah, no, you can't do home health care, okay?
Okay, not at all ever?
Not while you're on probation out of this court.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, there we can go off the record. Ms. Alejo, you just made this a great Monday.
Thank you.
It was an okay Monday. I always try to keep Mondays great, but you made it a great one.
Yes, so I was gonna ask you, so the proof of my employment from the cleaning services?
Yes, just what will end up happening is that's the proof that you have to give to probation. They'll tell you exactly what they need in order to say it's satisfied your requirement for that, okay?
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna send you to breakout room number 2. Mr. McCrum, if you could go to number 2, because she has that document she needs to sign. If something happens and she can't sign it, just let me know. And probation will meet you in breakout room number 2.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Oh, okay.
And if you'll go to 2. And everyone, just give me a moment. Yes. Everyone, just give me a moment. Arlene Gay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
I did confer with Robert, the clerk, and he said there is a NISI pending. It was filed in September, but it's not resolved yet. He did confirm that Humberto Sedana was the first lawyer, and then Mr. Cabanas was the second lawyer, appointed in June of 8th, 2020. He did confirm that a card was sent to the address to the client. I did ask him, well, my client is saying she didn't get it, and he said that if it was returned, they usually scan them in.
Yes.
But if she didn't get it and it was never returned by the U.S. Post Office, but my client saying she did not get it for the June 10th, 2021 date. I think.
So I don't know if you want to confer with the state.
Confer with the state, Your Honor.
Yes, on the actual case.
I am not prepared to confer, Your Honor. I haven't finished watching the videos in the case.
Okay.
So that's on me, Your Honor. And I was appointed on November 3rd. But it just seems like when I have bond issues initially, it just takes me longer to get on board, so to speak.
Well, there's nothing I can do with regards to your client's PR bond application. She has a warrant for her arrest. So if she wants to maybe turn herself in to the court, she can go through satellite. I think you may want to discuss with the clerks to find out if satellite will take her, but she's going to need to turn herself in.
Well, Your Honor, you remanded her without bond.
Well, I mean, once she turns herself in, then the court will reconsider, but she hasn't been around since June.
She actually was on the Zoom in November. At the November setting, November 3rd setting.
Okay.
And
in the notes, yeah, and it was before Judge Parker, and in the notes, it says the defendant was informed on Zoom that she had a warrant, and nothing still is happening. We're here in November.
And that's part of, that was November 3rd. It's been about a month, Your Honor. I did file this November 5th. I did file this motion. It's just there was just some confusion on my part how it was going to be heard, and by submission or by hearing, we found out that it should be by hearing, so I set up this hearing. So, I mean, I take responsibility for it not being heard beforehand. She is a mother of 2 children. She is her caretaker, and we're heading towards the holidays, Your Honor. My concern for her is that, you know, if the court is not reluctant for the PR bond, that the court will set a reasonable bond so she can make arrangements to make that bond and come into compliance. But she could literally turn herself in, and, you know, with the court schedule, with the holidays, and she could be there for a lengthier amount of time, Your Honor.
All right, you want to discuss with the state a specific bond amount?
I can do that, Your Honor.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll send you back to a breakout room. Let me see. I'll send you to breakout room number 3. I'm trying to find you on the Zoom screen. There you are. Could a prosecutor go to breakout room number 3 and speak with Ms. Gay regarding Bianca Sanchez? Fernando Cortez, who do you have?
I have Jonathan Trevino, and he had to show up in person. I couldn't get him to log in this morning. We just couldn't get it done. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Is it criminal trial division or family violence?
Family violence, Judge. And I've already conferred multiple times.
All right, just give me a moment then. Kelly McGinnis.
Hi, Judge. I'm here on James Pareda for Charles Bunk, and I don't think Mr. Pareda is here. It's for a violation report. I just wanted to let you know that I was here. I'm gonna head back to the office, and I guess if he does show up, I can log back in. I don't know what you want me to do.
Well, I give everyone till 10:30. It's 10:25 a.m. What I can tell you, the issues that they're having, his violation report, and this is the 4th one, is he's not appearing. So they haven't been in touch with him. So if you want to give him till 10:30, which is 5 more minutes, or I can make my decision now.
Okay, I can wait 5 minutes, Judge. I don't anticipate him showing up.
Okay.
So I don't think we were able to get in touch with him either. So I'm not surprised, I guess, that he's not here. So I don't know.
All right, well, if you want me to proceed, I can proceed. And then if you're able to get in touch with him during the afternoon.
Okay.
All right. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to issue a judge's warrant and remand him without bond. And if you're able to get in touch with him and he presents himself within a reasonable time, of course, the court will reconsider.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Have a great rest of your day.
You too. If I do get in touch with them, is this the same Zoom code for this morning, for the afternoon?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Martin Guerra.
Yes, Your Honor. The audio problem has been resolved, luckily. Actually, I just finished speaking with my client and I conferred with Michelle. But again, we were here on a motion to set a reasonable bond amount. I believe Michelle was just waiting to get the violation report.
Okay, as soon as you're all ready, just let me know.
Judge, I don't have those violation reports. He is remanded. I don't know if we want the pretrial violation officer here. I didn't know this was set today. I think the motion was actually just filed this morning. There is an at-large aggravated sexual assault case too that I think may be indicted sometime this week. So
okay.
I was checking on that.
And so was there a motion filed in this, Mr. Guerra?
There was, Your Honor. It was filed and I emailed a copy to Lupe.
All right, to the clerks, if I could have the motion on Bobby Jackson, please. I don't have it. All right, as soon as I have that, we'll take that matter up.
Thank you, Judge.
Catherine Valenzuela.
Yes, Your Honor, we have done all the paperwork on Mr. Puente.
He's still in the breakout room, I assume, to be sworn in. Or do you want him to come back?
No. I'm gonna send him to breakout room number 1 and he can be sworn in there.
Okay, because he,
And if you could see about getting him to number 1 so he can be sworn in.
I will do that, Your Honor.
Thank you. Andrew Priest, who do you have?
Good morning, Judge. I had Carlos Colunga. If I could confer with the state, please, criminal trial.
I'm going to send you to breakout room number 5.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Alfonso Cabanas, I'm going to send you to number 6.
Good morning, Judge. Thank you.
You're welcome. Right. And then Martin Guerra, I have a motion on Bobby Jackson. Is the state ready for Bobby Jackson?
Judge, I would ask for a few minutes to get some exhibits ready. When I spoke with Martin Guerra, he wasn't aware of the facts of the ag sex assault case or what was going to happen with that. So I didn't know he was intending on going forward. And as I mentioned, it was just filed this morning. So if you could give me a few minutes to.
All right. Do you want to proceed or do you want to recall this for tomorrow? Mr. Guerra, will that give you a chance in state? Would you like to recall it for tomorrow or this afternoon?
Well, since he is remanded, well, one, I still don't have the violation report, but we may want to get the pretrial bond officer as well.
All right, Mr. Guerra, are you okay for this afternoon?
I have, let me see, I think I might have one Zoom matter, but I assume that would be at 1:30,
2.
2 o'clock.
Judge,
2 o'clock.
I have a pretrial at 2. I mean, if you can just give me a few minutes, we can.
Oh, sure. Okay,
do
then
what we can.
I'll give you a few minutes. All right, so Mr. Guerra, just give us a moment, please. Frank Sandoval.
Hi, Judge. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
I conferred with Mr. Newman if I may be placed in a room with Mr. Velasquez.
All right, Mr. Velasquez, could you raise your hand for me, please? Okay. And Frank Sandoval, did you leave the, there you are. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3, Mr. Sandoval and Mr. Velasquez, if you could go to 3. Scott McCrum.
Thank you,
Yes,
Judge.
Judge, Ms. Alejo has the GPS from pretrial. She can't afford the bus fare right now to come to San Antonio to get that removed until after the 15th. Your CLO, Ms. Reyes, said that she needed your permission that they could do the swap on GPS from pretrial to probation's GPS because she says they're two entities.
Yes.
If we can do this after the 15th.
Yes.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, you're welcome. Dirk
Judge, this is-
Ashball.
Yes, how you doing, Judge? I conferred with Brittany on this case, but we're here for a violation report on Daryl Lewis. I've never talked to Mr. Lewis. He's never contacted my office. All the numbers that I have do not work for him. I believe I was also put on his misdemeanor case. We had court a few weeks ago, which he also did not appear at. And so that's just what I wanted to let the court know.
Okay, and so according to the violation report, I've given him extra time to contact them and he still hasn't. I gave him an extra 14 days. So I'm going to issue a judge's warrant and remand him without bond. If you're able to get in touch with your client and he presents himself, I'll reconsider.
Thank you, Judge. I don't anticipate that will happen, but
have some faith.
We'll see. You're right, Judge. That's too pessimistic. He's going to show up, Judge. He's going to show up.
Well, I mean, but have some faith, but you got to be reasonable in your faith. All right, have a good
All right,
one.
Judge. All right, thank you.
Bye-bye. Scott McCrum, you're back.
Yes, now how was she supposed to receive the documents on the magistrate warnings to sign?
Ms. Ferguson is going to send that to her. So let me send Ms. Ferguson in the room with y'all. And that's number 2.
It was emailed to her, Judge.
Okay, it's been emailed to her.
I'll have her look for it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay. Let me see who's here. Fernando Trevino.
Good morning, Judge.
Yes.
I'm here on Michael Cox. It was recalled from Friday, or no, maybe he was in the this is the one that was in the hospital, and he did show up later on that afternoon on Zoom. And apparently you had something that you had to do and were unable to be there for the afternoon. But we did show up and we're here because I got a Zoom link saying, let's go.
Okay, so where's your, so what's going on? Have you
He's
conferred
here.
with the state?
Yeah, I've conferred with the state and my client is here. He's present. His name is Michael Cox.
Yes, so what are we doing? What is happening with the case?
I need to relay, well, actually, I need to solidify the offer, but I need to talk to my clients before I confer again.
All right, Mr. Cox, I'm going to send you to a breakout room with your attorney. What previous breakout room were you in, Mr. Trevino?
I wasn't.
Okay, I'm going to send you to number 7.
Thank you. Oh, that sounds luckier than 13.
And Mr. Cox, I'm going to send you to number 7.
Thank you.
Are you looking for something? Yeah, it's not here. All right, Robert Guyana, who do you have?
Morning, Judge. Joseph Glass, CTD, violation report, no contact with him at all.
Okay,
Left
just give me a
phone
moment.
calls, left text messages, nothing.
All right, so on your case, Mr. Guyana, I hope you're not driving.
Of course I am not driving.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Guyana, on your case, I reset it for 14 days for him to get in compliance, and he's still not in compliance. So I'm going to issue a judge's warrant. If you're able to get in touch with your client and he presents himself, the court will reconsider.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day.
You do the same.
Everyone, just give me a moment. Scott McCrum, you're back.
She hasn't received it, so I'm chatting Norma her email address to make sure she sent it to the right one.
All right. And everyone, just let me check my email for a moment.
Judge Boyd, I'm Cooper on here. Can I please be excused? Just use the restroom real quick.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. All right, Alfonso Cabanas.
Good morning, Judge. Can I get a breakout room with Mr. Aaron Trevino, please?
All right, Aaron Trevino, can you raise your hand for me, please? All right, Mr. Trevino, just one moment. Mr. Trevino, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 8 to confer with your attorney. Frank Sandoval.
Hi, Judge. Good morning once again.
Yes.
The offer that I received Mr. Newman this morning is agreeable to Mr. Velasquez, but I believe Mr. Newman may have stepped out for a moment, so I don't know if there was someone else from criminal trial that we could start working on the procedure to effectuate. the agreement.
Yes, I'm sure if you put it in the agreement in the chat box, is there a prosecutor from criminal trial division available to take that?
I can talk with him.
All right, so Meredith will take care of that. So Mr. Sandoval, if you will go to breakout room number 6, she'll speak with you there.
I do appreciate it, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Fernando Cortez on Jonathan Trevino.
Yes, Your Honor.
And that's Jonathan Edward Trevino.
I believe so, Your Honor. E. Trevino. I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I have him as a possession of a firearm, possession less than a gram, and aggravated assault. Is that the same person?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So have you received all the discovery in each of these cases?
I believe I signed that, Your Honor, but I'm just not sure right now.
Okay, because I want to make sure that everyone has all of the discovery before we proceed further. So do you know if you have the discovery, because there are the 2 new cases for the possession less than a gram and possession of a prohibited firearm. So do you know if you have the discovery in those matters?
I don't know if I signed that document yet, Judge.
All right. So Ms. Ferguson, on Jonathan Trevino, can we bring this back December for discovery?
Yes, ma'am. I can do.
All right, we're going to come back on December 15th. And so, Mr. Trevino, if at that time you can make sure that you have all your discovery, and who is the prosecutor you're conferring with?
I don't remember.
Does anyone know who was conferring with Mr. Cortez on Jonathan Trevino?
I would bet it was.
It should be someone from criminal trial division.
Oh, really? I see there's some cases, family ones too.
Okay.
Or at least one at-large one, or arrest, sorry, but not indicted.
Okay, so are you aware of the at-large case, Mr. Cortez?
Meaning that the warrant out for him right now?
It's a CM case. CM,
Not indicted.
correct. When I said at-large, I was mistaken. It was a walked warrant.
All right, so do you have the information on that case, and are you on that case, Mr. Cortez?
I believe so, Judge. I just don't know off the top of my head right now.
All right, so what we're going to do then, Mr. Cortez and Mr. Trevino, we're going to come back on December 15th to make sure that your attorney has all the discovery. And so, Mr.
Rebecca, I send her a reminder, so if you can just, oh, I'm sorry.
So, Mr. Cortez, that is the only cases that the court is showing that he has: the aggravated assault, the possession case, the new CM case, and the possession less than a gram.
Will I be provided by the court judge the discovery compliance form?
No, the person who will send you the discovery compliance form, that will come from the state.
Okay.
So we'll be back on December 15th. Mr. Trevino, don't leave until you're given a reset form. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. If there's nothing else, Mr. Cortez, then you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Arlene Gay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we're still working on your matter. Is that correct?
I conferred with Meredith about the bond amount, and the previous bond amount was $10,000, Your Honor. We're asking the court to set a new bond at $10,000, and she has been found indigent in this case, and since the court not going to grant a PR bond, we're asking for that's a bond amount of $10,000.
All right. All right, the court will set the bond at $10,000.
Mhm.
I'm going to give you a reset date now, so your client will know what her reset date is. Ms. Ferguson, on Bianca Sanchez, can I have a 30-day reset, please? All right, Ms. Sanchez, we're going to come back on January 11, 2022. Do you understand? I'm sorry, do you understand?
Please unmute yourself.
Hello?
Yes. Do you understand your next court date is going to be January 11th?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. If there's nothing else, we'll see you back then.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. You have
You're
a good
welcome.
day.
You're welcome.
Ms. Sanchez, you can leave the meeting.
All right, Andrew Priest.
Good morning, Judge. I conferred with the state on Mr. Colunga. It looks like he was just indicted a couple of weeks ago. I only received notice of this setting on Saturday. I have conferred with the state, however, they need to reach out to the complainant on this case. And it also looks like the state has just uploaded a couple of days ago, I believe on the 1st or 2nd of December, 6 or 7 videos that I need to take a look at. So we would ask if we could just roll this over to the next setting so the state can contact their complainant and so that I can have time to watch those videos that were just uploaded. And I believe the state, once they talked to the complainant, was going to reach out to me so we could confer further.
All right, and then the court was in receipt of a request for a PR bond, and that request for a PR bond is going to be denied because your client has been convicted previously of violent offenses. So that's why that will be denied.
Understand, Judge.
All right, thank you.
And
When
can
did
I-
you want setting for this? Who are you conferring with on this case?
I believe it was Ms. Sparks, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Sparks, when did you want this call back? Or are you requesting a 30-day reset, Mr. Priest, or you want it sooner?
I would ask for a 30-day reset, Judge. I did talk to Ms. Sparks. I believe she was going to reach out to me when she talked to the complainant, and that would give me some time to be able to watch the videos that were just uploaded a couple days ago.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on Colunga, please? All right, we're going to come back on January 11th.
That will work. Thank you, Judge. And
All
could I
right,
go
Ms.
into a breakout
Ferguson?
room with my
Yes,
client?
Just give me a moment. Ms. Ferguson, I am signing that document.
Thank you, Judge.
But Ms. Ferguson, it's asking for me to fill out certain things that are at the top of the form, and I'll need the clerks to bring me back Ms. Alejo's file.
Okay.
So if they can bring that to me, I'll take care of it right now. All right, Mr. Priest and Mr. Colunga. If you can go to number 6, and Mr. Priest, when you finish speaking with your client, I'll need him to come back to the main room so he can be excused from here.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Okay, Roger Perez, who do you have?
Good morning, Your Honor. I represent Summer Johnson, who's on the screen.
Criminal trial
it's an
division of
NPR.
family violence.
It is a family violence matter, I think. I'm not sure.
Okay, let me see what she's charged with.
Yes, it is, Your Honor. I'm sorry. I
Family
saw wrong.
violence?
Yes.
Thank you. I need to take those back. All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 5.
Great. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. And everyone, just give me a moment while I sign a document, please. All right, who are the parties on Puente?
Judge Tom Nisbet for the state. Excuse me.
Catherine Valenzuela for the defense, Your Honor.
Okay. And Brenna, now it's acting up on me. It was so good the first time. I don't know why it does it now.
That's good.
All right. Court is calling 2021 CR 0996, State of Texas versus Luis Puente Jr. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Tom Nisbet.
for the defense?
Catherine Valenzuela.
And are you Luis Puente Jr.?
Yes.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No.
Any objections from the defense?
None, Your Honor.
Mr. Puente, I'm going to show you a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video Conference. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you sign it?
Yes.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Puente, I'm going to show you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes.
Mr. Puente, I'm going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Stand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Did you understand what you're charged with is unlawful possession of a weapon by a felony? That's a felon. That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses that may be called against you, and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, he has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Puente, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page, did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 3 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine. State opposes your application for community supervision or deferred adjudication. The state will take in consideration 2021 CR 0995 and 2021 CR 8394. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then, Mr. Puente, to the offense is charged in the indictment. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence to support the defendant's plea.
Yes, Judge. State offers Exhibit 1.
Any objections?
No objections. My client and I have reviewed states one.
Mr. Puente, I'm going to show you what's entitled Waiving Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes.
All right, and counsel, you understand that the state does not have judgments included, but they did include a generated copy of the defendant's criminal history.
Yes, Your Honor. We understand that.
All right, then the court will find the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Ms. Ferguson, can we have a sentencing date for Mr. Puente, please? And while we wait the date, Ms. Valenzuela? Does your client need a TAP evaluation as well?
I believe that that may be required by the court, yes. I
All
mean,
right, so we're going to do a TAP evaluation, and your sentencing date is going to be on January 25th, 2022. Mr. Puente, you'll need to appear in the courtroom. Do you understand?
Yes.
The courtroom is located at 300 De La Rosa, 187th District Court on the 4th floor. Do you understand?
Yes.
When do you need to appear in court?
On the 25th
Of what month?
of January,
All right, and that's going to be at 9 a.m. Which court?
court 4.
187.
187, huh?
All right. So that's when we will see you, okay? Make sure you appear. All right, I'm going to send you to a breakout room so that probation will give you your instructions. Probation, could you go to breakout room number 1, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Who are the parties on Tricia Hudgens?
Christine McDonald, Judge.
Okay. All right, and Ms. Valenzuela, you can just go back to that room. You're already assigned there. Who is the prosecutor on this case?
Judge Caitlin.
Okay. The court is calling 2021 CR 8557B, State of Texas versus Tricia Hudgens. Can I have the parties announced for the record for the state?
Caitlin Wilkes for the state.
For the defense?
Christine McDonald for the defendant.
And are you Tricia Hudgens?
Yes, Your Honor.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Judge.
Ms. Hudgens, I'm going to show you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Hudgens, I'm going to show you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Judge.
Ms. Hutchins, I'm going to show you a document entitled Court Admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're charged with endangering a child. That's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes, she does.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally staying at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Hudgens, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page, did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, there's a $1,500 fine to be probated. State recommends deferred adjudication. There's to be restitution, if any, McMiles evaluation in addition to TAP evaluation. Did you understand those were the recommendations from the state?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver repeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Judge.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 2 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 60 hours of community service restitution, and compliance with CPS recommendations on contact with the child. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
State offers states one and attachments.
Any objections?
No objection, Judge.
Off the record, Rebecca, this is Tricia Hutchins, 2021 CR 8557B, and the charge is endangering a child. And we're back on the record. Ms. Hutchins, I'm going to show you what's entitled waiving consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call on the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of you guilty as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor. I just have one issue to ask the court.
Yes.
Judge, we're just respectfully requesting that you allow my client to do the McMiles and the TAP evals out of custody, Judge.
All right, where is she going to be living? Because I see that these that the person she was with were homeless. So I'm assuming she was homeless and it was like, we have money for a hotel. Let's put our money together and get a hotel. So where is she going to be staying?
Can I ask my client that, Miss?
I'll ask her. Ms. Hutchins,
Thank you, Judge.
can you unmute for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, how old are you?
27.
All right, where are you going to be staying?
I have a place to stay off of Vance Jackson. It's 436 Nassau Drive.
Staying there.
It is a friend of mine and me.
Who's this friend?
It's a very close friend of mine. Her name's Jeree Bales. She's the one place that I have to go. I've stayed there for quite some time. I wasn't currently living at the motel when the offense occurred.
So you just went to the motel to have a baby and the baby just ended up in somebody's backpack?
No, I went to visit somebody. I wasn't in labor at the time. I went into labor early.
So here's my question for you, because I'm trying to figure out where your head is at. So someone calls because they hear the sound of maybe a baby being born. The medics come knocking on the door to try to get help for the baby and make sure everybody is okay. According to the police report, you all say, nope, there's no baby here. And then you leave. The other person leaves. And then they talk to the remaining person in the hotel room. And the remaining person in the hotel room is like, yeah, they put the baby inside of a backpack. And then this person puts the baby inside of the backpack, zips up the backpack with the baby inside of it. And they're walking back towards the hotel room. And then they finally admit that, yeah, there's a baby in the backpack. So I'm trying to figure, where are you in your life that you go from, I have a place to live on Vance Jackson, to giving birth to a baby in a hotel room and putting said baby in a backpack? I'm trying to figure out, why did all of this happen? Because there's so much could have happened with the baby. Like, people want to do at-home births. Okay, fine. People don't have any skill to do at-home births, and they want to say women have been delivering children forever. Fine. But I don't think anyone has ever said it's fine to deliver a baby and put a baby in a backpack and zip it up.
Your Honor, I did not know that she had put the baby in the backpack.
But you're walking with her. Where did you expect the baby to be?
I did not, I was not intending any of this. I didn't even, I really honestly did not know.
Okay, let me tell you what I'm reading in the police report. And what I'm reading in the police report, you're S1, which is suspect 1, and Bridget Adams is suspect 2. So it says medic 38 was dispatched for a welfare check at the listed incident location, which is the hotels. I was informed by medics that the front desk worker had received multiple calls of what sounded like a baby being born in room 129 of the location. The front desk worker then called for EMS to check on the newborn baby at the locations. Medics stated that they knocked on room 121 and the door was answered by witness 1, which is Angela, suspect 1, which is you, and suspect 2, which is Bridget. Witness 1, suspect 1, and suspect 2 stated to the medics that there was no baby inside the hotel room. EMS then went back to their ambulance and requested police assistance. The medics observed suspect 1, which is you, suspect 2, Bridget, exit the room and walk north towards Ritterman Road. The medics observed S2 wearing a backpack on her back as S2 walked away. I gathered this information and made contact with witness 1, who was the only one in the room. I asked witness 1 if I could look around her room to check the welfare of the newborn. Witness 1 verbally consented. I continued to ask witness 1 about the newborn baby. Witness 1 admitted to S1, that's you, giving birth to victim early in the morning on this date inside the restroom of the hotel room. Witness 1 later admitted to observing S1, that's you, and S2, Angela, wrapping victim 1 in a blanket and placing victim 1 into a backpack, which was zipped closed while victim was inside. And the victim 1 is the baby. Witness 1 stated that suspect 1 and suspect 2 placed victim 1 into the backpack shortly after they spoke with medics. I observed suspect 2, which is Angela, with the backpack on her back, walking back into the hotel room. I asked suspect 2 what she had in the backpack, and her reply was that she did not know because suspect 1, which is you, handed her the bag when she walked to the convenience store. I asked suspect 2 to open the bag so that I could verify the status of victim 1, which is the baby. Suspect 2 took the backpack off while asking me if she would be in trouble if a baby was in her backpack. Suspect 2 handed me the completely closed backpack. I opened the backpack and unwrapped the blanket, to which I saw the baby's forearms, hands, neck, and head. I immediately handed the bag to the medics that were on scene. So, unless your memory is very bad, according to this, you're the one who had the baby. So I don't know how you would not know that your baby was in a backpack. The witness is saying that you and suspect 2, this Bridget person, put the baby in the backpack. You all left, walked to the convenience store. So I don't understand why you're telling me that you don't know a baby was in your baby that you just gave birth to was in a backpack. So here's the thing. You've already pled to this. I'm trying to figure out what to do as far as your conditions are. Your attorney wants you to be released from jail so that you can do your evaluations outside of jail. I don't know if that's appropriate because you're being untruthful with me. So let's start over. What were you thinking when you you had your friend put a newborn in a backpack and zip it up? Why were you doing that?
I honestly don't know what was wrong with me. I just don't. I'm going to be honest. I don't.
All right. Usually when people say they're going to be honest, usually that means that they're not being honest. It's like when people say with all due respect, what's about to come after all due respect is not respect. So usually when people say with all honesty, or I'm just going to be honest with you, what comes next is not going to be honest.
I can't in my mind understand what was wrong with me at that point. I know that it was in a very stressful time and everything just kind of seemed like it was going fast. And
who is Bridget Adams?
She was like a sister to me. She's my soon-to-be ex-fiance's brother's wife.
Okay, I'm gonna take some mental unpacking to figure that relationship out. So, and who is Angela Lynn Marie Coleman?
It's her niece, Your Honor.
And where's your fiance?
Currently, we are in the process of breaking up, and he's in Kerr County Jail right now.
And what is he in Kerr County Jail for?
Bond revoked.
All right. And where are your parents and your family?
I don't have a mother or father. I don't really have any family.
What do you mean you don't really have any family?
All my family that, like my grandparents and all of that, they are all passed away.
Okay, so where's mom, dad?
Mom passed away, and my father's in prison in Virginia. We don't speak.
All right. So are you trying to get custody of your child back? Are you following through with CPS?
Yes,
or
Your
are you
Honor.
just done?
No, I'm following through with CPS recommendations to get my daughter
How
back.
far did you go in school?
11th grade.
All right. Why didn't you graduate?
Because I ran away from my father who was abusing me.
So what, you've been on the street since 11th grade all the way to your age now?
No, Your Honor. I was in Florida for a period of time. I was in different parts of Texas. I've had my own place. I was working with Sam Ministries before I got arrested to move out of the apartment on Nassau into my own place. Literally all I needed is a copy of my identification, and I'm next up on the housing list. I had a job. I was working at a temp agency, and I had a job offering as a store clerk for a 7-Eleven before I got arrested. I talked to the lady that works there, Miss Cooper, and she said that I still have the job there. I'm really trying to keep my head on straight and do the right thing.
All right. Have you ever been diagnosed with any illness?
anxiety and PTSD and depression.
All right, it says a request for restitution on here. What is the restitution for?
If there was any medical costs, like due to the examination of the baby, when they came upon the baby. I don't know if there were.
I think the taxpayers are going to pay for that one. All right, this is what the court will do. Well, let me backtrack a little bit. I'm sorry, Ms. Hutchins. Have you ever had any drug issues?
I used to use pot.
And what else?
I used methamphetamines like once or twice. It's not a very big thing. I actually really hated it.
Now, methamphetamines, using it illegally is a big deal. You know how many times I've used meth?
Probably never, Your Honor.
You know how many times I've used marijuana?
Probably never, Your Honor.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't like it either. And I just don't. It was a social thing and I'd prefer not to. I don't even like drinking.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. $1,500 fine probated, 2 years deferred adjudication, CPS compliance, McMouth evaluation while in custody. CPS may be giving you their own evaluation. And Rebecca, if CPS evaluates her, which I know they will, that will be acceptable. And they'll see if she has any type of mental health issues that needs to be addressed. Parenting classes, proof of employment within 30 days of release, no employment as a home health care provider or with minors, 60 hours of community service restitution, 40 hours of that will be deducted if you provide proof that you've obtained the COVID vaccination. The court is not forcing anyone to obtain the COVID vaccination, but if you do, 40 hours will be accepted in lieu of doing community service hours. And Rebecca, that COVID vaccination must include the booster shot as well. Restitution, if any, random field visits 3 times a month, no contact with Bridget Adams, Angela Coleman, and what's the name of your fiance?
Gary LaSalle.
Gary LaSalle?
Yes, Your Honor.
No contact with Gary LaSalle. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person upon release. And there's to be random UAs until further notice. And Rebecca, if Child Protective Services are giving her UAs, those are acceptable to the court. Rebecca, is there anything else she needs?
No, ma'am.
I'm show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Ms. Hutchins, here's the thing. You have a newborn. It is not good for the newborn to be dependent on you to find housing with these random people. And right now, your judgment is not the best of judgments. And I don't mean any disrespect when I say that, but I say that because of the people you were hanging around with. Anybody who didn't have sense enough or didn't have, wherewithal to say, hey, Ms. Hutchins, hey, Trisha, we shouldn't be putting this baby in a backpack. That isn't somebody you should be hanging around with. And I'm going to tell you about Child Protective Services because I've represented people in Child Protective Services before as a defense attorney. If you're going to get your life together, get your life together. If you're not going to get your life together, just be done and move on, because children don't understand when parents make commitments and don't follow through. So if CPS is going to be giving you weekly visits or however they're going to be doing their visits, you need to follow through with those visits because your child is going to be expecting you. And each time you let your child down by not following through, to what's being asked of you that hurts your child and has an impact on them. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to send you and your attorney to a breakout room. And Rebecca, could you see maybe, I'm pretty sure who's your CPS attorney?
Kristen Torres.
Yes, so I'm sure her CPS attorney should see if she's a good candidate for the CPS drug court. So Ms. McDonald, if you can check into that. And even though I don't have any jurisdiction over there, Rebecca, I'm going to refer her. Can we go back on the record just briefly, Brenna? I'm going to refer her to CPS Family Drug Court. They may accept you, they may not accept you. Oh, and if they don't accept her, Brenna, and she does fall on her MIC-5, see if the mental health court will accept her. That's with Judge Rangel.
Judge,
Yes.
Judge Rangel's program is a pretrial diversion program. I don't believe it can be done with a plea.
Well, let's check on it and see, because I've spoken to him about that. So let's check on it with the plea. Let's check on it and see. So I'm going to send you all to breakout room number 2. And probation will go over conditions with you there. Good luck to you, Ms. Hudgens.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. You're welcome. Bobby Gebbia and Alfonso Cabanas.
Oh, Judge.
Hello.
I'm here. I conferred with Meredith. If Meredith is on, could inform you as to where we are at with Sherry Cooper. We have conferred, and she still has 2 cases that are unindicted. Meredith.
Yeah, Judge, I reached out to the intake attorney and he's in contact with the detective. It is a fraudulent use or possession of ID info over 50 items. So it's just taking a little bit longer to get that worked up, but I am under the impression it should be indicted in the next 30 days or so. And that case will likely control the plea bargain agreement because it's a higher level offense.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on Sherry Cooper, please? All right, we're going to come back on January 13th. And you and your client are excused.
Thank you, Your Honor. I hope you have a wonderful Monday.
All right, thank you, you too.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, Alfonso Cabanas.
Good morning, Judge. I conferred, I wanted to get the court an update. I conferred with Mr. Aaron Trevino. Today is our plea deadline.
Yes.
And my client has informed me, Judge, that he is rejecting the plea offer that Caitlin conferred in writing, and she conferred before.
Okay. All right, Mr. Trevino, can you unmute?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so your plea deadline date has expired. The court will not accept any plea bargain agreements in this case. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, why is the long pause? You understand what that means, correct?
Kind of, sort of. I mean, it's like I was supposed to come back in 2 weeks, but I know I came back in 3 weeks to the deadline. And I feel like my case hasn't been presented fully to my extent. Like, I feel I need more time.
No, here's the thing. We were here on August 23rd because you had new cases.
Yes, ma'am.
And then we were here in September. Then we were here in November. So on November 15th, I made sure that you had an offer. And then I asked for a plea deadline date. And so the state has tendered the offer to your attorney, and it's the same offer that has been tendered. State, has that offer changed since November 15th?
I don't believe so, Your Honor. I believe only one offer was made in this case total.
Okay, so you've had a chance to think about the offer since November 15th. So what that means is today is your plea deadline date. You can accept an offer, not accept an offer. But after today, the court is not going to accept any plea bargain offers. The court will only accept offers that are open to the court. So you're charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, serious bodily injury, family dating, theft of person, and you're also charged with continuous violence against family member. So my understanding is that you're rejecting the offer. Is that correct, Mr. Trevino? And you're requesting a jury trial?
No, ma'am.
All right, so Mr. Cabanas, I'm going to send you to a breakout room to speak with your client again, and then we'll come back.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Trevino, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 5, and Mr. Cabanas, I'll send you to number 5. All right, Roger Perez of Summer Johnson.
Good morning, Your Honor. I've spoken with Ms. Hayden, and there's a pending Tarrant County matter that there's another court hearing in that one that is fundamentally the issue for the MTR. So if we could maybe just get a reset on this into January, maybe that it'll change the whole disposition of this case once the Tarrant County matter gets resolved.
All right, when are we expecting the Tarrant County to be resolved? Because this case can't be going on for months and months because of Tarrant County.
We understand, and Summer, correct me if I'm wrong, that there's a court hearing later this week. Is that correct, Summer?
He's on mute.
You're on mute, Summer.
Okay, yes, on the 8th.
All right. All right, have you reported at all to probation since this motion to revoke has been filed, Ms. Johnson?
Yes, ma'am, last Monday.
All right, I'm going to give you a 30-day reset, Mr. Perez, and that's going to be set for a contested. All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on Johnson, and it'll be for a contested? All right, we're going to come back on January 12th. Ms. Johnson, on that day, you're going to need to appear in person in court. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right, if there's nothing else, you and your client are excused.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you.
Yes. Bye-bye. Anyone else who's ready?
Judge, can I talk to you and Martin Guerra in a breakout room real quick?
Yes, if you can go to breakout room number 1. And Martin Guerra, if you'll meet us in 1, please. And everyone just give me a moment. All right, Luis Martinez.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I need your attorney.
My attorney, I think he just walked over to the courthouse, ma'am. I think he's in court. I finally got down to the office though.
Okay, just give us a moment, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. State on Robert Maurer's client, Elizabeth Yepes, he's still in jury trial in the 226. Do y'all know if the body cam footage has been burned on DVDs for him?
What kind of case is this, Judge?
It's possession. It's on page 14 of the docket. All right, Mr. Guerra.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, as soon as the state is ready, then we will proceed. All right, the officer on Benjamin Sanchez.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so you say that the defendant is in custody at the Bexar County Jail, correct?
Yes, ma'am. I just submitted a third violation today. Defendant got rearrested on 12/3.
Okay. All right. Thank you for zooming in. We will take care of it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank
May I have the
you.
excuse?
Yes.
Thank you.
Fernando Trevino or Michael Cox?
Good morning, Judge.
Yes.
Is it still morning?
Oh, yes, it is.
We've already come with an agreement, Judge, and I've texted the coordinator and Lupe that we're waiting on paperwork.
Okay.
And
I'm working on the paperwork.
yeah,
All right,
so
we will get that done.
okay, Judge, thank you. Should I check? I mean, I'll keep a lookout on my email, but I need to refer to the 399. Would that be okay?
Yes, but we want to get this plea done before the afternoon if possible.
Well, then they can wait.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right. Alfonso Cabanas?
Good morning, Judge. I'm back. I conferred with my client, Your Honor, and I'm asking the court if I can come back after lunch. My client, I think, may take the plea offer given by Caitlin, but he just wants to come back and give an update after lunch.
All right, Norma on Aaron Trevino. Can we recall that for 2 p.m., please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so then Aaron Trevino can go back. He's 14C, Norma. And he's still in the breakout room. All right, we'll see you at 2.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, Frank Sandoval.
Hi, Judge. Let's see. Am I there?
Hi.
Your Honor, good morning. It's still morning. Good morning. Your Honor, on Mr. Velasquez.
Yes.
The documentation for the felony MTR has been signed. I hope it's making its way to you, but for purposes of full disclosure, if this is a proper opportunity to address the court, and if this state, from someone from criminal trial division is listening, I do need to inform the court of one interesting matter here. And that matter is the MTR case that I resolved on behalf of Mr. Velasquez today includes 3 misdemeanors arising out of County Court 13, where he is represented by Mr. Kirby Wayland. I've spoken this morning with Mr. Wayland in the breakout room, and Mr. Wayland is preparing for trial, so unfortunately isn't able to join us. In the breakout room, Mr. Wayland and I spoke with Mr. Velasquez. Mr. Wayland conferred with Mr. Velasquez, and Mr. Wayland explained to Mr. Velasquez the consequences of the TICing of the misdemeanors, and Mr. Velasquez wishes to go forward with the MTR plea, which includes those TICs.
Okay.
It's just for purposes of full disclosure. I wanted to let the court know all of it.
All right, to the clerks, could I have the paperwork on Velasquez, please? And did you sign 2, Mr. Sandoval? Because there's 2 motions to revoke.
The Zoom consent and the certificate of appeal. because this is a deferred and the offer includes a conviction.
Okay, just for a moment, I'm trying to figure out why do I have a case on him from 2019 and also a case from 2020.
Honor, I'm just showing one. Hold
Is
on.
this, oh, he's Nestor and the other person is Matthew. Okay. All right, we will take this up. And then if the state is ready on Bobby Jackson, we'll take that up next. And Mr. Sandoval, can you have your client leave the breakout room, please?
Yes, sir. I'll go over there. I'll go back there and then ask him. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. And who is the prosecutor on Velasquez?
It can be me, Judge.
All right. All right, Brenda, are you ready? Court is calling 2019 CR 5698W, State of Texas versus Nestor Daniel Velasquez. Can I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Meredith McIntyre for the state.
For the defense? Mr. Sandoval, are you there?
I apologize, Your Honor. I was muted. I'm sorry.
No problem. And for the defense?
Yes, Frankie Sandoval on behalf of Mr. Velasquez. It's on
Are
this
you
high.
Mr.
Sorry.
No problem. And Mr. Velasquez, are you Mr. Nestor Velasquez? You need to unmute.
Yes.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
Oh, Your Honor.
Any objections from the defense? Any objections, Mr. Sandoval?
No, Judge.
Mr. Velasquez, I'm showing you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video Conference. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm going to show you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Are you the same Nestor Daniel Velasquez who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2019 CR 5698W for the offense of possession of controlled substance, penalty group 1 less than 1 gram, on May 22nd, 2019 for a period of 3 years? Is that you?
Yes.
State?
One moment, Your Honor. For about the 6th day of May of 2021 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Nestor Daniel Velasquez did then and there fail to submit to drug testing as directed by the supervision officer in violation of condition number 2.
Do you plead to that, true or not true?
True.
State will waive the remaining violations.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Velasquez, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2?
Yes.
Court will find violation of condition number 2 true. Is there an agreement?
There is, Your Honor. We're asking this court to adjudicate him guilty, sentence him to 2 years in the state jail, suspended and probated for 2 years, conduct a new TAP evaluation, and follow the recommendations, adding a BIP course, no harmful or injurious contact with Samantha Contreras, a referral to felony drug court, and we will take into consideration and dismiss 3 new cases based on the case.
Okay, and what cases would those be?
Let's see, County Court case number 669-134, 669-133, and 668-580.
Okay. All right, so defense, is that the agreement? You're on mute.
I apologize again, Your Honor. I apologize. That is the agreement, Your Honor. And just very briefly, for the purposes of the record, Mr. Kirby Wayland represents Mr. Velasquez on those 3 matters, those 3 misdemeanor matters. I've spoken with Mr. Wayland, and he was a party in the breakout room with Mr. Velasquez, and they discussed those matters and the benefits or detriments to accepting this bargain. And Mr. Velasquez wanted to go forward after full discussion with Mr. Wayland.
All right, so let's discuss this no harmful or injurious contact. Is that something the complainants want? What is that about?
Your Honor, for the court's information, it appears that there may be arising out of these underlying matters a ongoing protective order, which may supersede the no harmful or injurious contact. I believe and certainly do not want to speak on behalf of the state's position, but the nature of the offense, it's in an overabundance of caution that should there not be the protective order, that there at least be something in place to indicate the seriousness of what occurred and not to minimize anything.
All right. Well, the court then is going to want a no contact order for now. And Mr. Sandoval, if that is reviewed further and the complainant requests or wants a to have contact with Mr. Velasquez, that's something the court would consider at a later date.
Thank you, Your Honor. Do you understand that, Mr. Velasquez?
Yeah, yes, I understand.
All right, then this is what the court will do. The court is finding you guilty. The court previously found violation of condition number 2 true. The court will sentence you to 2 years in the state jail facility, suspended and probated for 2 years, TAP evaluation while in custody. You're to follow all TAP recommendations. Referral to felony drug court, that's to be while in custody. The BIP course, taking consideration 669-134, 669-133, 688-5.
Report, send them up to the 7-4 right now.
Was it 580?
I think we're missing like 1, but then a 0. I understand that.
I wrote it for you, Judge.
All right, thank you. Brenda, you are doing excellent. 66858. Oh, okay. Okay, everyone off the record for a moment, although I know Brenda could take it on the record. Brenda is an excellent court reporter. I mean, that's why I'm always looking off to the side. Here I am writing down what Meredith is saying, and Meredith is going too fast, and Brenda, you just putting it on the computer.
Sorry, Brenna.
Hey, you spoke, what about me? I had to write it down.
Oh, and sorry, Judge, of course. We've got
All
5
right.
open.
I'm like, I'm trying to write it. It's going by so quickly. All right, so 68858. There's to be no contact with Samantha Contreras. All previous conditions are to remain in place, so you still have to do your parenting classes. What I will do is the only changes, I had asked for 80 hours community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof that you completed the COVID vaccination regimen. Do you understand, Mr. Velasquez?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Velasquez, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes.
All right, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. But because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon is, then you will need to speak to your attorney about the definition of weapon. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record, Mr. Velasquez. I don't know what happened in your case, where you're charged with assault. But what I do know is you should not be putting your hands on anyone in anger. That
Yes, ma'am.
impacts your children. Do you understand?
Yes.
So you're going to have to decide whether or not you want to be in prison and at the Bexar County Jail, or whether or not you want to get control of your anger. There are courses that are designed to help you discover why you're angry with the world. Why are you hitting or putting your hands on anger on the people that you love? You understand?
Yes.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Velasquez. Rebecca, I'm going to send him to breakout room number 1.
Oh, okay.
And wait
Honor,
a second, don't go to 1 yet. Rebecca's in a breakout room. I'm going to send you to that breakout room, Mr. Velasquez, and it's going to be breakout room number 2.
Okay.
And Mr. Sandoval, you can go to breakout room number 2, or you can be excused. Mr. Velasquez, please be patient in that breakout room, because I need to go into that room and let probation know what I've ordered. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
And Your Honor, I'm sorry, one last matter prior to being released.
Yes.
Your Honor, Mr. Velasquez has been in custody for about 90 days. Might the court, not knowing how long it's going to take for the TAP evaluation, might the court consider allowing him to be released and to come back for the TAP evaluation?
Well, if he's honest with felony drug court will be able to see him this week and make a determination on whether or not they'll accept him.
We appreciate it.
Mr. Sandoval, if you'll just check with the back end with the court on Friday, because by then we should know.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. We appreciate it. We appreciate our courtesies extended both by the court and the state.
Oh, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.
Take care, Judge.
All right, bye-bye. Mr. Luis Martinez, your client was in your offices.
Judge, he's in my office. He's sitting on my laptop. It says Luis Martinez.
Okay. All right, Mr. Velasquez, you need to go to breakout room number 2. I've already assigned you. All right, so Mr. Martinez, what is happening with your client?
So Judge, there was a violation report for non-enrollment in ignition interlock. As the court can see, Mr. Young doesn't have, he's not driving right now. He had to get a ride down to my office, which is why we had to wait so long.
So has he provided proof? Has he provided an affidavit of non-driving?
Judge, he's not, but he's in my office. We can have that submitted right now.
All right, so what I'm going to need is an affidavit of non-driving. And if he provides proof of affidavit of non-driving, which needs to be with the court by 2 o'clock today, then we will do another alcohol monitoring device.
Perfect.
But that needs to be done before today is ended.
Okay. Well, Judge, like I said, he's in my office right now. I'll have the office do that and we'll have an email.
Okay. All right, just zoom back in at 2 p.m., Mr. Martinez, and we'll take care of it.
Judge, I may be in trial in court 8, which is why I'm over at the courthouse.
Okay. All right, but I need the affidavit of non-driving from him today.
We'll get that right now, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge Boyd.
All right, you're welcome. Everyone, just give me a moment, please, while I go to a breakout room, and I will be right back. Oops. Are we ready on Martin Guerra's case?
I believe so, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Andrew Priest, what is happening with Carlos Kalanga?
Your Honor, we needed to approach on a bond issue if possible.
Okay, just give me a moment. Let me take up this matter and then we'll take up that case.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 10248, State of Texas versus Bobby Jackson. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Michelle Hayden for the state.
For the defense?
Martin Guerra.
All right, we're proceeding with this hearing by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
No objections.
Mr. Jackson, any objection to this hearing taking place by video?
No, ma'am.
All right, the defense has filed a motion to set reasonable bond. The defendant was previously remanded without bond, I'm assuming. Have the state had a chance to review the defense's motion?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is the state ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, defense, it's your motion.
Your Honor, if I just make a proffer, my client was basically a warrant was issued on July 29th, 2021, and he was remanded without bond at that time. That was the result of a violation report which was filed claiming that he had left the inclusion zone, basically a violation of GPS rules. Your Honor, he was booked on September 4th. He's been in custody since then. Now, I will say that essentially what had happened is,
Your Honor,
and
I'm going to object since this is a revocation hearing. Rules of evidence apply.
Yes,
You
if
rely on
it's to,
hearsay.
if it is to, and if the, this is a case where the defendant has been remanded without bond, so rules of evidence do apply, Mr. Guerra.
okay, well, and again, I'm not saying anything that's not known, but it can't be easily confirmed by public record. I mean, he was booked on September 4th. He was remanded without bond. I mean, I
And so you're
understand.
asking for a bond?
I'm asking for a bond in the amount of $50,000, no contact with the complaining witness, and partial house arrest with proof of employment.
All right. State?
State calls Taylor Vaughn.
All right, Ms. Vaughn, if you could show your video, please. All right, Ms. Vaughn, if you could raise your right hand for me, please. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand, please. If you could state your name for the record.
Taylor Vaughn.
All right, state.
Ms. Vaughn, how are you currently employed?
As a Bexar County pretrial supervision officer.
And how long have you been a pretrial bond supervision officer?
Since December of 2019.
And as part of your duties, did you supervise Bobby Jackson, SID number 888-940?
Yes.
Okay. And when did you supervise him from?
From July 23rd, 2021 to July 29th, 2021.
Did you meet with him?
I did not meet with him in person.
When you were supervising him, did he have any bond violations?
Yes, he did.
And what cases were you supervising him for?
Let me pull that up.
Thank you. Thanks.
It was for 2 cases. Do you want the case numbers?
Yes, please.
2021 CR 1024 and 087035.
Okay. And what were those offenses?
They are aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and assault family choking.
And do you remember what the bond amount was in each of those cases at the time?
I don't remember.
Okay. Do you have the violation report?
Yes, I do.
Would it be helpful to refresh your memory with that?
Yes, I have it now.
Okay. What were those bond amounts?
The aggravated assault was 50,000 and the assault family was 15,000.
Okay. So 65,000 total.
Yes, ma'am.
And you said that when you were supervising him, he had a violation. Can you tell us what that violation was?
Yes, it was due to him leaving his home zone without authorization and then a tamper on his device as well.
And can you tell the court what that tamper consisted of?
Yeah, so it's called a backplate tamper. So it means that the device was removed or tampered with while he was wearing the monitor.
And are you aware if the device was removed while he was wearing the monitor?
It was removed because we were able to recover the device and it was no longer on the defendant.
Okay, where did you recover the device?
From his address of record, which was 7202 Tranquil Lane, Converse, Texas.
Was he there when you recovered the device?
He was not.
Where did you recover the device? Like, I know you said his address, but where did you get it from?
It was left on the front porch.
Go ahead and go and leave me a voicemail and let me know.
Did he have any other violations during the time that you were supervising him?
No, he did not.
Okay. And when did your supervision of him end?
On July 29th of 2021.
And do you know who his supervision officer is now?
He currently doesn't have one, but if he were to have one, it would be me again.
I'll pass the witness.
All right, defense?
Ms. Vaughn, on that day, July 29th, were there any new offenses that were reported that he committed?
No, there were not.
And on that day of July 29th, well, presumably there is a no contact order between the defendant and the complaining witness, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you did not receive any reports that he had contacted or made any efforts to contact the complaining witness, did you?
No, I did not.
So what I recommend is, okay, so.
And that address 7202 Tranquil Lane, you did confirm that that is his residence?
Correct.
Pass witness.
All right, state.
No other questions of this witness.
All right, is this witness excused or subject for recall?
The subject to recall, but yes, excused.
All right, Ms. Vaughn, if you could remain on the Zoom screen while the hearing is going on, and we'll let you know if we need you again.
No problem.
All right, I will mute you and stop your video so that you can continue with whatever else you need to do. All right, state, any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
All right, defense, any witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then the court will hear argument. Mr. Guerra?
Your Honor, as I said, he's been in custody for 90 days. He has basically it's a single violation where he essentially, I think, has learned his lesson in the past 3 months of being in custody. As you heard from pretrial services, this was not an issue where he cut the monitor and tried to go and harass or make contact with complaining witness. This is not a situation where he cut his monitor because he had committed a new offense. He was simply stressed out and he left. Now, Your Honor, as I said, he's been in there for 90 days. We're asking for the $50,000 bond. He's completely fine with no contact with a complaining witness. And he actually it looks like he's has a job position waiting for him in the event that he's released. So we would ask for partial house arrest with proof of employment.
All right, state.
Judge, we're objecting to defense request. As the court is aware, at the time he had bonds in the amount of $65,000. That wasn't high enough for him to comply with as he cut off his ankle monitor and fled. Those cases have now been consolidated in the indictment, and I would ask the court to take judicial notice of the indictment. He's been charged with aggravated assault of a deadly weapon by pointing a firearm and assault family choking. He's also been alleged as a repeater for his burglary of a habitation force. Due to the nature of those offenses and the circumstances, the future safety of the victim in the community, the fact that he's previously not complied with bond conditions, and that the $50,000 bond was not high enough to give assurance that it would be complied with, we ask that the court continue to have him remanded without bond.
Mr. Guerra, at this time, the court is going to remand him without bond. I don't understand why someone would cut their monitor off instead of contacting anyone. The court will, of course, always open a reconsideration, but for now, he's going to be remanded without bond. And if I'm going to be asked maybe to give him a bond or set a bond, it would probably be best if the complainant is here.
Your Honor, if I can go into a breakout room with my client.
Okay. Yes. All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 3, Mr. Guerra. And Mr. Jackson, if you could go to 3.
Judge, may we excuse Taylor Vaughn?
Yes, Ms. Vaughn, you're excused. Mr. Jackson, I need you to go to breakout room number 3. And Austin Young, the court is.
Ma'am, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do none of
All right,
that.
Norma, could you let Deputy get Mr. Jackson to breakout room number 3? And
Yes,
Mr. Young, the court is in receipt of your affidavit of non-driving. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to get some alcohol monitoring testing device, be it Scram or something of that nature. You understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay. All right, Mr. Austin Young, do you have your pretrial services officer's number?
Yes, ma'am, I do. I have his number
right,
and his
Chief.
email because he's working from home right now. So he gave me
All
his
right,
email
so
as well.
Mr. Young, you
Yes,
need to
ma'am.
contact him because this is going to be placed in the file that you're supposed to obtain Scram or some other alcohol monitoring device. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Mr. Young. You're excused.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Mrs. Boyd.
All right, you're welcome. All right, Mr. Priest.
Yes, Your Honor, we were hoping to approach on Mr. Colongo regarding a bond. I know the court earlier denied his request for a PR bond. It looks like he made a $4,000 bond back in March. It looks like the bondsman filed a surety to surrender. According to the state, the reason for that surety was the bondsman said he hadn't been complying with.
Right, have you conferred with the state on a bond?
I have, Your Honor, and we have agreed with the court's okay to reinstate his bond at $4,000.
All right, is there to be no contact orders? Who's the prosecutor on this case?
It's Miss Sparks, Your Honor.
Judge, it was me. We just agreed on reinstating the original bond.
All right, if someone can look because of the nature of the charge, if there's to be a no contact. And if both parties can file me an agreed motion, then the court will sign it.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, you're welcome. And as soon as I receive that if I receive it today, it will be done today.
Okay, and I will just.
And state has the court's email address.
I will prepare one and email it to Miss Sparks this afternoon.
All right, thank you. Then you are excused. Is your client still in a breakout room?
He was in the main room, Judge, a few minutes ago. I don't know if they took him off or where he is at.
All right, I think they have. All right, then that will be done as soon as I receive it.
Okay, thank you, Judge. And I will email that to you, Brittany, this afternoon.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes. All right. All right, Matthew Velasquez. I think we need Laura Tiarina on the Zoom. Let me see. We have a pretrial officer coming in. All right, Cassandra Montemayor, are you filling in for Laura Tiarina?
I'm sorry, Judge. No, I'm here for Mr. Austin Young. I was accidentally kicked out of the Zoom earlier. However, I believe it was addressed with Attorney Martinez.
Yes, so the court is in receipt of his affidavit of non-driving. So we're going to change him to Scram.
Okay, Judge. Will there be court order sent out later?
Yes.
Okay, Judge. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And could you do me a favor, please? We're waiting for Laura Tiarina. I don't know if she received the link or not. Could you see if she could zoom in for me, please?
Yes, Judge.
I did send her the link.
All right, thank you.
I'll go ahead and reach out to her as well, Judge.
All right, thank you.
May I be excused, Judge?
Yes.
Thank you, Judge. You have a good one.
All right, you too. And then Norma, we need Cal Ernst.
He's in another county, Judge. He'll be here shortly.
All right, thank you. Mr. Velasquez, the reason we're here is that pretrial services wants to remove your in-home device, but you need to be on some sort of device. So I'm trying to make sure that that happens, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Roger Pettis.
Judge, you were nice enough to reset Miss Johnson. Can we have permission, or I don't know if it needs to be noted, for her to allow to go to Tarrant County for this case that's set on December the 8th?
No, I mean, she can travel for court.
Okay, perfect. All right.
Sure. And just be sure to let her probation officer know.
All right, very good. I will reach out to her with that.
All right. thank
Sometimes
you.
the probation officer asks her for a document.
Oh, no, just let Miss Reyes know. I'll send you to breakout room number 1. Just be patient in breakout room number 1 because she's going over paperwork.
Great. Thank you so much, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, everyone, it is 12:21. We are going to take our 2 o'clock break. So Mr. Velasquez, are you at work? I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
No, ma'am.
All right, so Mr. Velasquez, I'm gonna have you come back at 2, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're gonna